With election hacking under investigation and the threat of more hacking to come, there may be a lot to learn at a convention underway in Las Vegas.
DEF CON 25 marks a quarter century of bringing together computer hackers from around the world. This year, they've been given a challenge to break into voting machines similar to the ones used in the 2016 election. For more on this, we're joined by John Biggs, editor-at-large for TechCrunch. John, good morning.
Howdy.
So an annual conference, what's the usual goal here? What are they trying to accomplish usually?
The usual goal is to experiment. So one of the coolest things that they do is it's called the badge contest, I guess you could call it. And everybody has a special badge that's actually electronic. So everybody has to work together to figure out what these badges do. And there's a series of puzzles inside of these things. So the real ethos there is hacking. It's building cool stuff, taking apart stuff to see how it works, and figuring things out just on the fly.
So the organizers have issued a challenge to try to break into voting machines. Is that legal?
It is actually legal. So there used to be a challenge against it, according to the DMCA, which is it's against intellectual property, hacking, all this other good stuff. But they found in 2015 that if you do it for a good cause, if you do it for research specifically, you're allowed to do it.
But these are hackers, and not to make them all look bad, not all of them are great guys. So why trust them to do that? Sorry to the hackers out there.
No. Look, I mean, you got a bunch of let's admit it. I've gone there a couple times, and I identify as a nerd. You got a bunch of nerds going to a thing to try to do a bunch of cool stuff, and it's.
But some of the nerds don't always do cool stuff.
Well, so there's black hat hackers, white hat hackers. I would argue that the vast majority, if you're going to DEF CON, you're not sitting in some darkened room trying to hack into a bank. You're basically working for a bank, and you're wanting to learn the state of the art, essentially.
Okay, more trustworthy in that regard.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
How difficult is it to hack into voting machines?
Well, look, it's like a clamshell, and you have to crack that thing open first, and then you have to figure out what's going on the inside. And if you think about the way they have to manage these things, the only time you get with a voting machine in the real world is about 2 minutes inside of a school gym somewhere.
Yeah.
So what they'd have to figure out is how to hack that thing through all that security in about 2 minutes, which is massively difficult.
And is the idea then that the government can use this information to make us more protected?
Ideally, but the problem is the voting machine folks, they like to do security through obfuscation, security through hiding. So they'll say, look, you can't even touch these things, because if you do, then you're going to figure out these secret things that we have put in place. And that really doesn't work. You really have to open these things up, and you have to share them with researchers who can actually figure out how these things actually work.
What needs to be done to secure voting machines?
To secure voting machines, they have to be completely open. You have to essentially give one to these DEF CON every year and say, here, try to break this thing open.
Right.
And as soon as they break it open, somebody from the voting machine company should be sitting there and saying, okay, we didn't see that, we didn't see that.
Right.
And then you have more eyes makes bigger problems easier.
My apologies to the white hat hackers. The black hat guys don't come after me. John Biggs, thank you.
Thanks.